Do you boys need stubs? Make sure you guys go to u4gm.com. Make sure you guys use code Brady for 5% off your purchase. This is easy stubs. It's nice and fast, and it's way better than giving SDS money. Alright boys, today we are going to rank the top 10 players in MLB The Show 22 Diamond Dynasty. So we've got a lot of good cards starting off the year. I thought we'd do one of these ranking videos. You guys used to seem to like these. I'm going to be ranking the top 10 cards who I think are meta right now and who I think would build the best squad in Diamond Dynasty. Now, one thing I'm going to say before this video is obviously these are the top 10 best cards in the game, but right now it's still early game, so if you're struggling to get some of these cards, me included, I still don't have even half of the guys that are going to be on this list. I'm going to recommend you guys check out my stub video, and if you're looking for really good cheap cards, I also have a budget beast video that already came out, so I'm going to link those in the cards above. Make sure you check those out if you want some really good cheap cards, but let's get into the top 10 best. Alright boys, like every single rankings videos, the one cards that I would like to end up giving honorable mentions are 3 cards today. The third card that I'm going to give an honorable mention to is going to be Juan Soto. Now, I think that this live series card is absolutely disgusting. One of the best swings in the game, although it's probably not going to have the best true overall in the game. You got to keep in mind, Juan Soto has one of the best swings ever. I love this guy's swing. He's going to get a disgusting 99 later in the year. I love this dude to death, and I think that he's definitely a card that you guys should think about picking up if you want a really good bat in the outfield still. 30,000 stubs. Obviously, he helps to end up finishing collections as well, so he is huge. He's a card you are going to have to get anyways, and I think that card is definitely amazing. The next guy that I'm going to say is going to be Corey Seager. Now, I love Corey Seager a lot. I think that he's one of the most balanced players in the game. You can see I'm hitting 356 with him so far. I know I have under 50 at-bats, but he is really, really good, and I love his swing to death. When he gets a 99, he's going to be absolutely filthy. And the third honorable mention is actually going to be Jazz Chisholm. Now, I think Jazz Chisholm has a really good card this year. He's pretty 5-tool, 90 fielding, 91 speed, pretty balanced across the board. Obviously, he's not really anything that just absolutely stands out, but I love his Jazz Chisholm card to death. I think he has an amazing swing. I think whenever he starts to get a higher overall card, which he probably will at some point this year, he's going to be disgusting. He's an awesome player. He has a great swing. Definitely an awesome card to have and a really tough position at second base. Definitely one of the better options at second right now. At the number 10 spot today, we're going to have Fernando Tatis Jr. Now, the one thing I'm going to say about Tatis is the fielding hurts this year. Obviously, he's a dog at the plate. He's a great base runner with 90 speed, 94 steal. But the one thing that sucks about this card, I mean, I hope that when he gets a 99, it is at least gold defense. But 60 fielding, that's common defense at shortstop. You do not want your shortstop to be terrible in botching balls. Obviously, he has a 99 arm, but he still gets pretty bad animation, so that's why he's at number 10 today. I think Tatis is definitely really good still. I think he's a card that's not bad at all. I just think the fielding is brutal, and honestly, out of shortstop, I might be going a different way. At the number 9 spot today, I'm actually going to have the best catcher, in my opinion, in the game right now. It's going to be Gary Carter. Now, the one thing I'm going to say about Gary Carter, the only unfortunate thing about this card is that I personally absolutely hate this guy's swing. I just don't think it's a very good swing. For the beginning of the year, he's not bad, but there are a lot of really good catchers in the game right now. One thing that I would say is that for the catcher position in the top 10, I wanted to put a catcher in here. It's either Gary Carter or Gary Sanchez. Now, on paper, Gary Carter is definitely the better hitter, and this is why. The 106 vision. Anything that's not all-star, Gary Sanchez definitely sucks. Gary Sanchez was just outside of this list, but Gary Carter gets the nod in the 9 spot. I don't think anybody's going to get too angry about this pick. He is a collection reward for the Mets, and I do think that he's definitely really, really good. He still absolutely rails lefties with good power versus righty, and he's decent for beginning of the year. Obviously, we're going to need a better catcher later in the game. I put my cap at catcher, so I'm never going to use Gary Carter. But if you like him, he's your guy. At the number 8 spot today, I got Troy Glaus. Now, Troy Glaus is definitely an interesting card. Here's the reason. Now, you either love Troy Glaus or you hate Troy Glaus. He's got a really good swing. He rails lefties, 101, 118. And the thing that people sleep about this card is whenever I look at Troy Glaus cards, I don't look at him as a third baseman. He's a shortstop. Look at him as a shortstop. Definitely a power-hitting shortstop who has good fielding. 80 fielding as shortstop after the penalty, and he's still got an 84 arm. I know he doesn't have like the greatest speed, but I still don't think that you have to have necessarily the most speedy shortstop. Troy Glaus absolutely rakes lefties. I think that he's definitely a very mid-day one shortstop. I think this guy's really good. He's going to be better than a lot of those face of the franchise cards, but I do think that he's definitely someone who kind of earned his spot on this list because he just flat out rakes, and at this time of year, you want guys that rake, especially dudes that hit lefties with Randy Johnson in the game. So Troy GLAUS, absolute stud. At the number 6 spot today, I am going to put the best closer in the game, which is going to be Kenley Jansen. Kenley Jansen right now is the best closer in the game. 100 hits per 9. I know that that's not the greatest, but the cutter, slider, sinker is absolutely gross. 115 Ks per 9 with really good control, and this dude's cutter is absolutely disgusting. It's just something about Kenley Jansen's cards every single year. He has 99 pitch break on his cutter and his slider. I know that the one thing that hurts this Jansen card is the fact that he does not have a changeup. I understand that, but I'm still going to say that he's the best reliever in the game, and that's why he makes the 6th spot in my opinion. I think it's hands down, Kenley Jansen is one of the best cards that I've seen in a while day one for bullpen. Usually we don't get good bullpen cards. This card's really good. I like him a lot. I think he makes the 6th spot. For the best bullpen pitcher, I'm going to go my boy Kenley. At the number 6 spot today, you guys didn't think I was actually going to leave him out. I'm putting Joe Mauer at the number 6. Now, this card can be a top 5 card. The top 5 are a little bit better in my opinion. The thing about Joe Mauer is I think he absolutely rakes. I think he fields. I think he's going to be one of the better catchers in the game. Now, it's honestly possible though, but caps are one of the reasons why catcher is such a hard position. My cap is already better than this 96 overall Joe Mauer, and he is only a gold tier cap ball player. So one thing I'm going to say with him is that my ball player, although I do think that Joe Mauer is really good, usually I put my ball player at catcher, and so this is why he's a little bit lower in the list. Top 5 are still absolutely disgusting. Now, the one thing I am going to say is Joe Mauer plays first base. I definitely do think he's really good, and obviously Frank plays first. Joe Mauer could make that position, and I could just end up moving my cap to shortstop. But at the moment, Joe Mauer is kind of in this weird zone because he's a catcher. But I do like his swing, and I think that he's really good. I just like the 5 ahead of him a little bit better. At the number 5 spot in the game, and one thing I want to say at the middle of the video is that I want you guys to let me know if you guys think I'm wrong in the comment section down below. Let's have an argument. Let me know in the comment section down below. Let's argue who you think is the best card in the game, who you think definitely the honorable mention should have been, and just kind of let your input known. I like to hear those type of things, and I don't mind arguing with a lot of you guys and hearing your side of the thing. So let me know in the comment section down below what you guys are thinking. At the number 5 spot today, man, he has dropped day 1, but it is Mike Trout, man. Guys, I am so close to getting Mike Trout, and I'm about to lose my mind. He is great. He's absolutely great. I know that Mike Trout doesn't necessarily have the amazing statistics that he usually has, but he rails righties. He absolutely still rails righties, and I think that Trout every year, he just has the best swing in the game. Obviously, he's not going to necessarily absolutely obliterate left-handed pitching, and he's still got really good defense at 81 fielding and pretty much 90 speed once you parallel this guy. He's disgusting. He's 5-tool. He's amazing. He's Mike Trout. I don't think that there's a different explanation. I love this card to death, and I think that he definitely makes top 5 in this game. He is disgusting, and he's arguably top 3. I understand, but I am going to put him in the 5 spot just because he definitely falls off versus lefties. At the number 4 spot today, slightly ahead of Mike Trout, which might be a little bit of a hot take, I got Chase Utley, man. Obviously, these top 5 are pretty interchangeable, but Chase Utley, man, don't sleep on Chase Utley. Pretty much 5-tool, absolute standard balanced player, one of the most balanced players in the game. Disgusting fielding at second base, 98 fielding. He's gonna have 99 whenever you end up paralleling him up once. Obviously, fielding isn't the most important thing to somebody, especially whenever you have over 90, you're pretty much getting the same animations. But I still think Chase Utley is an absolute baller. Great swing. Use this guy in BR. He is gross. Across the board, pretty much around 100 contact for both sides, and the 90-90 once you parallel up is really good for power numbers. This is a card that's going to be really slept on. Now, second base is always a really hard priority position. Like I said with Jazz Chisholm, I like Chase Utley for second base. I think that this card's actually going to make it pretty far into the game, considering they're not going to give us a lot of good second base cards until some of these finest guys come out. Obviously, we might see some legends that are pretty good, such as Joe Morgan and stuff like that, but I still think Chase Utley is absolutely great. This card is going to be probably the meta second baseman for at least the first 3 months of the game. Maybe they drop some good tops now moments and some really good tops now cards at second base, and he actually ends up getting replaced, but I still think Chase Utley is definitely a sleeper for second base. This is a tough position, and he has a great swing. He's just a dog in my opinion. Now we're getting into our top 3. I know this is starting to get interesting, but at the 3 spot, I've actually got Randy Johnson. Now, the reason I have Randy Johnson in the 3 spot, and I'm looking at a lot of these guys, although he's the best pitcher in the game, and I know that he's still good at 105 hits per 9. The hits per 9 bring him down. I understand there are a lot of good pitchers in the game right now, but there are guys that are already close that are like 90 overalls with pretty much 105 hits per 9. Now, I know Randy Johnson's gross. I know that he's got a slurve. I know he's a lefty. I know that he's got a lot of good control numbers. But the one thing with the Randy Johnson that hits per 9 just brings me down. I don't really like it. I think Randy Johnson definitely needs to be a little bit better. Hopefully he's good whenever you get him paralleled up to like 110 hits per 9. We'll see how this card does. Obviously I haven't used him yet. I know I'm collections done, but he's a really good card. I'm putting him in the 3. He's a pitcher, and although I love the big unit, I'm not completely sold on this card being in-game or as in-game as like Corey Kluber was. At the number 2 spot, I've got Frank Tank. Man, I love Frank Thomas every single year. He's got a great swing. Pretty balanced card. Underwhelming power numbers versus righties. I understand they didn't want to make him too overpowered day 1, but the one thing I am going to say with Frank Thomas is this card is good. Obviously, he's good. He's going to make it a really far way in the game, but the one thing I'm going to say about this guy is once those meta first basemen start to come out, even some of the 97s that come out with how bad Frank Thomas fielding is, I just don't necessarily like Frank Thomas. I like his swing. I think he's good. He's going to be good for like the first 3 months. I don't think he's an in-game first baseman. The guy that I do think that might have a chance of being in-game is going to be this Roberto Clemente. Max contact, 99 fielding once you parallel him up and right. 73 speed. Obviously, he's not necessarily the most fast guy in the world, but this guy is going to be one of the best hitting cards in the game. He's really balanced. He's going to have good fielding. He has an absolute cannon. I just think Roberto Clemente is an absolute stud. I love this guy to death. He's going to be amazing. He's going to be my right fielder for a very long time. Out of all of the guys that come out in collections and everything that's kind of came out in the game so far, I definitely think that Clemente is a absolute stud, and he might end up even being in-game in right field. The only question is going to be how good finest are, but I think Clemente is definitely making it a long ways. This guy can make it like 5 months into the year and still be very viable. I used him in BR and he hit 444 for me. I know it's only 18 ABs, but this guy's an absolute dog. He hit 2 tanks for me as well. I can't wait to use this card. I'm excited for Roberto Clemente. Definitely out of anybody in the collection program, it's Clemente for me. Boys, let me know your guys' thoughts about this ranking in the comment section down below. I know the comments on this video every year are usually a little bit of hot takes mixed with just kind of anger, so just let me know what you guys think. I love talking to you guys. Put it down in the comment section below. If you have not hit that like or sub button, hit that sub button. We're on the road to 10K. Really close to ratioing my town at 6.8K. And I'll talk to you boys later. Have a great rest of your day, and peace.